Hello everyone, this is VIKRANT CHAUHAN. I am currently pursuing a master's from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur in Computer Science and Engineering. I am happy to tell that I have recently secured an All India rank of 1 in ISRO ICRB 2023 examination. Actually, this is my first ever YouTube video, so I would like to dedicate this video to all the young scientists, children, students who wanted to become an astronaut or a scientist in their childhood. So why kill that dream? Let's make it happen by becoming a rocket scientist at Indian Space Research Organization and explore the universe. So without further delay, let's get back straight into the video. So before beginning with the strategy to crack the ISRO ICRB examination, let's first little bit discuss about what position are you going to be offered after cracking the ISRO ICRB examination. So you will be offered a position of scientist or engineer SC, which is a level 10 group A gazetted class 1 officer position with a basic pay of 56,100, and then you also get other perks like HRA, TA, DA, LTC and other central government allowances as well. So now, after listening to basic pay of 56,100, many students, including me, were also thinking that just 56,100, this is what a scientist get after joining this position. So don't worry about the money point of view. Just to give a clarification, current DA rate is 53%. If you add just two of these values, basic pay and DA, then only the pay becomes more than 85,000. And then we also get other perks like HRA, TA, LTC, and we also get bonuses from the government, which is the PRIS, which is performance related incentives, and we also get health cover, which is CHSS scheme. So from the money point of view or from the health point of view, there is no issue in this position. So we get quite a hefty amount for this position. So now let's delve deep into the strategy video for ISRO ICRB examination. So let's first discuss about the eligibility criteria and number of vacancies in ISRO ICRB 2023 examination. There were 163 seats in the mechanical engineering department, 47 vacancies were in the computer science and engineering department, and 90 vacancies were in the electronics and communication engineering department. The age limit to apply in ISRO ICRB 2023 examination was 28 years, and the main eligibility criteria was you must have 65% or 6.84 CGPA in your bachelor's, BE or BTech degree. Let's now discuss about the scheme of the ISRO ICRB examination. The examination is conducted into two stages. First is the written test and second is the interview stage. Both in written test as well as the interview are holding 50% weightage. The written test is of 100 marks and similarly interview is also of 100 marks. Let's first discuss about written test. Written test is divided into two portions, part A and part B. Part A is your technical portion. In technical portions, there are 80 questions of 1 mark each with a negative marking of 1/3. In part B, it is an aptitude section of 15 questions of 20 marks. There is no negative marking in aptitude section. So you have to solve 95 questions in 120 minutes. Okay, there is no negative marking in the aptitude section, but there is a negative marking of 1/3 in the technical section. Now there is a sectional cutoff of 50% in both aptitude as well as in the technical section. So let's take for an example. We know that technical section is of 80 marks and 20 marks is the aptitude section. Suppose a person secures only 9 marks in the aptitude section, then although he might have secured full marks in the technical section, he is not eligible to appear for the interview. So you have to secure 50% marks, more than 50% marks in part A and more than 55% marks in part B. Then only you have qualified the sectional cutoff, and then your overall marks, whatever you have got in part A plus part B, whatever that overall marks comes up, that sum should be greater than a particular cutoff for that particular paper. So you're understanding now? Interview is of 100 marks and interview is also holding a 50% weightage. Now there is sectional cutoff of 50% marks in interview as well. So you must secure 50 marks in the interview to qualify the sectional cutoff of interview. Yeah, that's all for the interview. Now, actually I have decided to make 2 videos on ISRO ICRB. In this first video, I have decided to create a strategy specifically for computer science engineering students to crack the ISRO ICRB interview portion. And in the next video, I will tell you about how you can conquer written test for the ISRO ICRB examination. I have tried to make as much detailed video as possible. I have tried to incorporate all the RTIs, whatever strategies I have followed, and all the topper strategies in this video. So this is my suggestion. You can follow all the toppers strategy and then create your personalized strategy for yourself. So let's begin with my interview experience. So let's begin with my interview experience. So we were called one day before the interview. Actually, my interview had held in ISRO ICRB, ISRO URSC Rao, Bangalore Center. So we were called one day before the interview. On that day, all the documents were verified and some forms were being filled. And on that day only, we were given the time on which we have to report the next day for the interview. So on the next day, our interview was scheduled. So we were called one by one into the conference room where the interview was being held. My number for the interview was 12th or 13th number on which my interview was held. So I went into the conference room. So firstly, I asked the permission to enter into the conference room. Sir, may I come in, sir? So they allowed me to come in. Then before sitting, I also asked the permission to, sir, can I sit? So they very gracefully replied that you can kindly sit on your seat. So then there was a U-shaped table on which at least 13 scientists were sitting, 5 this side, and 3 this side. And in the center, chairman sir was sitting. So now chairman sir starts asking me questions. So chairman sir first comforts me that you are having no nervousness or anything. So Vikrant, kindly tell your introduction in just brief. Don't get nervous. Just tell your introduction in brief. So I had prepared my introduction well beforehand. So for sample, I am telling my introduction. So this is my introduction. Good morning, sir. Sir, my name is VIKRANT CHAUHAN. I am currently pursuing a master's from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur in Computer Science and Engineering. Sir, my CGPA at IIT Kanpur is a perfect 10 CGPA. I am ranked number 1 in IIT Kanpur, so would be receiving the gold medal of IIT Kanpur during the convocation of 2025. Sir, I have completed my bachelor's from Mangniram Bangra Memorial Engineering College, Jodhpur, with a CGPA of 9.28. Sir, I was ranked number 1 in my university as well, so I have also received the university gold medal for my bachelor's program as well. Sir, I have completed my schooling from Jodhpur, Rajasthan with a CGPA of 9.8 in my 10th class and 91.2% in my 12th class. Sir, I have also pursued an internship at ISRO Jodhpur Center where we had worked on developing a peer-to-peer video conferencing web app, and sir, we were the only team who received an excellent grade in their certificate during that internship period. Sir, I am from Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Thank you, sir. So this was my complete introduction. So the tip from my side for the introduction is that you have to practice your introduction many times before the interview. You have to practice at least 2 to 3 times, 4 times per day before the interview, and you have to inculcate all your academic achievements, from where you belong, from if you have any working experience, then you must inculcate that thing also into your introduction. Also, you must include, if you are having any patents or papers, then also you can inculcate them also into your introduction, and just practice that introduction, because this is a short question which would be asked. So if you prepare that introduction very well now, so when they hear to your introduction, then they will get a sense that you have come prepared and that you are serious for this job. And if you don't prepare your introduction well, then they will think that he is just a another candidate. He has not come that much prepared. But if you give your introduction with full confidence and with full preparation, then it gives a great vibe to them. For example, if I share my own experience, 5 scientists from here and 5 scientists were there, their heads were down while I was entering the room. Only 3 scientists, they were doing some work. 10 scientists were doing some work. Rest, only 3 scientists were looking at me and talking to me. But when I gave the introduction with full confidence, I had practiced very many times the introduction. When I gave the introduction with full confidence, then all the scientists' heads became up and saw me, and now their whole attention was towards me. So you have to gain their attention that you have come here to get this job, and you are fully prepared, and you have full confidence that you have to get this job, and you are super serious for this job. So after the introduction part, the scientists became quite happy that I have come prepared. So after that, they asked me about my master's thesis. So I told them that my master's thesis in the image processing domain. So they asked me the questions about image processing. After that, they jumped on to the technical section. So on the technical section, one thing to note here is that if you refer the previous year interview experiences, there the seniors were given a choice of their favorite subjects, but this time the scientists didn't give us any choice of favorite subjects. They directly fired upon us the questions. Whatever they wanted to ask, they just asked from any subject they wanted to ask. So actually, I have forgotten many of the questions, but whatever I remember, I will try to tell you all the questions. So let's jump on to the question part. So first question which was asked was, what is the difference between Prince and Krusgers? Then on the next question which was asked was, what is the difference between the dynamic programming and divide and conquer approach? Then next question which was asked was, what are the command line arguments in C? Okay. Then the next question which was asked was, write a regular expression for a particular language. It was starting with something and ending with something. I had to write a regular expression on the board. This question was solved on the board. So just practice little bit on the board if you have. But if you don't practice on the board also, no issues. Only one question was asked from me from on the board. You can easily write on the board for that, no issues. Then next question which was asked was, in what are the various inter-process communication methods? Then in the inter-process communication methods, then they asked what is a shared memory. Then they asked what are the various process states. Then they asked since my thesis was in image processing, so they asked how will you find the intensity of a pixel. So yeah, so then they asked how we can detect a edge in an image. These are all image processing questions. So if your project is not in image processing, don't worry about these questions. Then they jump on to the software development lifecycle, software development subject. So I was asked what is the software development lifecycle, what are the various models. They asked questions on them. Then then the interview jumped on the mainly on the security and OS parts. So a little bit of my experience during question and answer of the interview. So while answering the questions, if you get stuck in between, then no issues. Just they are very much helpful and they guide you to the answer and help you to answer the question. They are there to select you and not reject you. And if you are not able to answer a particular question, you can just say, sir, I don't know. I am currently not able to remember it. I know, but I am not able to remember it. You just say that and move on to the next question. They are very much helping in nature and they will help you to the last. So don't worry about anything. Just give your best in the interview and come out with flying colors. So after that, uh, I will share. I was asked from at least 6 scientists. I was asked, yeah, I remember 6 scientists asked me questions. So out of 6 scientists, I was able to completely satisfy 5 scientists. And but the last scientist which asked me the questions, he asked me about IP tables and other operating system questions. Only 2 questions he asked me, but they were quite delve deep into the operating system. So I was not that much prepared for the questions. So I was said, sir, I don't know. So but chairman said, then just said it. Don't worry, it's fine. Then chairman sir asked me the last question that, Vikrant, what are your future plans? So I was not having any idea for these questions and I was not prepared for this question. So whatever came in my mouth, I just said it. Actually, ISRO was my childhood dream to achieve. So I just said that, sir, if sir this time ISRO not happen, then sir next time also I will target for ISRO only, and as this is my childhood dream. And then they laughed and then I said thank you to all the scientists and I left the conference room. So this was my interview experience. My interview was quite special because it went for at least 40 to 45 minutes, but all the other people interview went for just 20 or 15 minutes at max, but mine went for 40 to 45 minutes. I don't know whether they were liking to talking to me or what, but mine was this case. So yeah, so this was my interview experience. So now let's begin with the interview preparation strategy, how we can prepare for the interview. So firstly, you have to get all the ISRO, DRDO, BARC interview experiences you will able to find at least 20 to 30 interview experiences you would be able to find easily, either on the Quora or on the Great Overflow site or on Geeks for Geeks site. You will be able to find DRDO, BARC and ISRO. These three organization interview experiences, you have to collect all the interview experiences, whatever you are able to get. So once you have collected all these interview experiences, you have to read each and every question in that interview experience in depth. You have to understand those questions and understand them in depth. No surface level knowledge. You have to understand those questions in depth. So why I'm emphasizing so much on the interview experiences, because at least 70% of the interview questions which I was asked were from the interview experiences of ISRO only. So these interview questions are like gold mine. So you have to learn each and every question and understand it in depth. You can't leave any of the interview experience question like that only. If suppose you are going through any interview experience question and a particular question comes up which is related to that person's job experience, then you can ignore those questions, but rest all the questions which are generic and related to computer science, you have to delve deep into those questions and learn about those questions very thoroughly. So next point is, you have to prepare your final year project, your thesis, master's thesis if you are pursuing a master's, and also your work experience if you are having any work experience. You have to prepare all these things in depth and understand these things in depth, because if they like your master's thesis or your final year project or your work experience, no, all the questions of yours will be based on that thing only. So prepare that all these things in depth. Don't ignore any one of them. These are very important things. Okay, so moving on to the next point. Actually, from the previous recruitments, always the scientists used to ask us what are our favorite 5 subjects. So I had prepared these 5 subjects from books. So I would also suggest you to read these subjects from book only. So my favorite subjects were C programming, CA, DBMS, OS, and software engineering. So for C programming, I had followed Balaguru Swami and Yashwant Kanetkar book. For CN, I had followed 2 books, Kurthros and Frozen. For DBMS, I had followed Korth. For OS, I had followed Galvin. And for software engineering, I must suggest you that software engineering is important subject in both written test as well as in the interview. Kindly don't ignore it. You must read software engineering from book only. You can refer online resources, but software engineering book is quite good. So for software engineering, the standard book is Roger Pressman. Whatever favorite subjects you choose, read books of them. Actually, in online resources, what happens is, they only give surface level knowledge, but many times in the interview, what happens is that the interviewer dives deep into the subject, and then problem starts happening. So for tackling such situation, you have to read from the books. One more point is there. Many times, whenever you read the interview experiences, many interview experiences, you will see that OOPS is a very important subject. So for OOPS, I had practiced in C++ programming, and for that I had Balaguru Swami C++ book I had followed. So you can also follow the same. So moving on to the next point. Actually, ISRO focuses more on the breadth of your knowledge, not on the depth of your knowledge. So you have to cover all the subjects in surface, but you have to dive into these your favorite subjects. So yeah, one more important thing you note is that many times when you will read the interview experiences, so you will encounter that ISRO is asking from your suppose you have passed out from BTech. If you are freshly passed out from your BTech, they will ask you one question like, tell one of your subjects from your final semester, 8th semester, and then you won't remember that subject. So I will suggest you to just take your final year mark sheet, read all the subjects from it. Whichever subject you like the most, just pick it up, read only surface level about it, just surface level. Don't delve deep into it, just surface level knowledge, and it will suffice you. Similarly, if you are currently pursuing your masters and you are in 2nd or 3rd semester, ISRO what it will do is they will ask what subjects have you studied in your masters. So for tackling such questions, no, you just have, and what subjects you have studied in your master's in the first or the second semester. So you tell only few subjects which are your favorite subjects. So then they will ask little bit question, only surface level knowledge. They just want to check that you are aware of your knowledge and you are serious candidate for that only there. So just I am suggesting that just if you are freshly graduated, take your 8th semester mark sheet, pick any one of your favorite subjects from that, take surface level knowledge of that subject, and if you are currently in your second or third semester of your masters, take your first or second semester mark sheet, any of the favorite subject, whichever you like, take surface level knowledge of that subject, and that will be good. So after hearing such a strategy video, you might be thinking that his preparation strategy is quite overwhelming. So I must tell you that the competition is quite fierce. I will tell you can't take anything for granted. You have to give your full 100% for cracking this examination. Actually, I had skipped my placements for ISRO, and I was given all in for ISRO. This was my childhood dream, and I had to achieve it anyhow. So it is not like that you if you can measure that I will do only this much thing and then I will guarantee my selection. You have to do everything, whatever is possible. You have to do everything, and you have to ensure that your selection is guaranteed. So just I want to share my schedule so that you can understand what type of seriousness it requires and what type of dedication it requires for you to clear this examination, because it is Group A gazetted class 1 officer, and you will directly become scientist at ISRO, which is a very big thing. You are understanding. Competition is quite fierce. I will just now share with you the figures so as to get to know how much fierce the competition is. So just I will share my routine with you. So I used to wake up at 6 a.m. and by 7 I used to get ready, doing my daily chores. At 7:30 I used to take my breakfast, and at 8 a.m. I used to go to the library, and then I used to return from the library at night 11 p.m. In between I used to have lunch. So this schedule continued for 2 to 3 months, and in that 2 to 3 months I was able to crack the written test. Then for the interview also I followed this strategy only, and I was able to crack the interview as well. And now you can see that I have secured an all India rank of 1 in ISRO ICRB examination 2023. And in the written test I was also having very high marks. So but you cannot measure that you study this much, then you will get this mark. You study this much, you will get this marks. You have to give all your heart and soul into this examination, then only it will crack. If you prepare half-heartedly, nothing will happen. And I feel some people say that if you prepare less for the written test, then also no issues. You can cover it in the interview. It might be true earlier times, but now written test and interview is having 50% weightage, so you cannot ignore any of them. And getting marks in the written test is more easier than getting marks in the interview. So you have to give all in for the ISRO if you really want it. I'm extremely sorry if you would have frightened by my previous point, but I just wanted to tell you the truth only. Let's see the figures. How many people applied for these positions? These are, I will attach, I have got this result from the RTI. So I will attach this RTI somewhere here. So just to see how much fierce the competition is, I am telling you figures. So for 47 seats in CSE, 18,779 people applied. For 163 seats in mechanical, 33,810 people had applied. For 90 seats in electronics, 20,695 people had applied. Let's calculate for only CSE. 47 seats, 18,779. Your selection ratio is just 0.2 percentile. You are understanding? Let's say only 10,000 people had appeared for the examination. We should consider only let's consider 18,000 people applied and 10,000 appeared for the examination. Then also you will find that it is nearing about 0.4 or 0.5. So you have to be in top 0.5 percentile to be able to achieve this goal. And this can only happen if you are totally dedicated for this examination. If you are not totally dedicated and half-heartedly performing this examination, no, then nothing will happen. Some might tell you that, oh, I have qualified the written test by 50 marks I had got. Just, I must tell you that if you're not scoring high in the written test, no, your overall score would go down only because written test is also having 50% weightage. So just consider that you have to score good marks in both written test as well as interview. So yeah, let's move on to the next point. So moving on to the next point. Now I'd like to share you an RTI report which tells about the distribution of marks in the interview, how the 100 marks of the interview are distributed. This RTI tells us that most of the organizations like DAB, DRDO, BAR, they do not reply to such RTIs. But ISRO is so much transparent that you get reply for these RTIs also, that how your 100 marks of interview are being distributed. So let me tell you how your 100 marks of the interview are distributed. So moving on, I will attach the RTI somewhere over, okay? So your technical knowledge holds 40 marks, okay? Your general awareness about the area of specialization holds 20 marks. Your presentation or communication skill holds 20 marks. Your comprehension, how you are explaining the subject, holds 10 marks. And last, your academic achievements hold 10 marks. So you might be wondering that what is this academic achievements? So we had applied an RTI for that also. So we had got a response for that also. So let's move on to the next topic in that. Okay. So academic achievements is holding 10 marks of the interview. So let's see the breakdown of those 10 marks. Now some heartbreaks may happen, but let's see what it has to say. So so if your college is in top 20 NIRF ranking, or your college is an NIT, IIT or IAST, then you will get 3 marks. If your college is none of them, then you will get 3 out of 0 marks. If your BTech CGPA is greater than 9 CGPA, then you will get 4 marks. If your BTech CGPA is between 7.5 and 9 CGPA, then you will get 2 marks. And if your BTech CGPA is less than 7.5 CGPA, then you will get 0 marks. I will attach this RTI somewhere here. So you might be wondering that 4 marks for the college, 3 marks for the CGPA, 3 plus 4 is 7. Then Vikrant, where the 3 marks have gone? So actually on the previous day of the interview, our document verification was happening. So they specifically asked us 3-4 questions. One was our BTech CGPA. Second was our 10th and 12th CGPA on percentages. And then they specifically asked what is your BTech college, and they were holding a sheet of paper in which they were having NIRF 20 colleges, and we have to search if our college was present there or not. So this is understandable, their marks distribution is present. Then the next question they asked, what is your 10th CGPA, what is your 12th CGPA, and if you are specifically holding any rank in your BTech college. These 3 questions were asked. So I think that the last 3 marks are for your 10th percentage, 12th percentage, and if you are holding any rank in your BTech college. So this was the total 10 marks distribution of your interview. So moving on to the next point, some people might have become disheartened that I am not from IIT, I am not from NIT, I am not having great CGPA, I am not holding any rank in my bachelor's program. To all those people, I would like to tell that interview 10 marks are just for academic achievements. Rest 90 marks of your interview are in your hands. Similarly, your 100 marks of the written test are in your hands. So total 190 marks out of 200 are in your hands. Rest 10 marks are not on your hand. Those marks are for your past performances, but 190 marks are in your hand. So focus on these 190 marks and forget about these 10 marks. Just for information, I was telling about these 10 marks, but you have to focus on 190 marks. Also, I don't want that you spread hatred about ISRO that they are focusing on NIT and IIT and 9+ CGPA or very high CGPA people are they are selecting. I know many people who have got selected this time, and many friends of mine are from private colleges. Also, they have very low CGPA. Then also they are getting selected because they focus on 190 marks. And not on these 10 marks. These 10 marks are gone and dusted, but you have to focus on these 190 marks. If you have the passion for ISRO, you will secure good marks in these 190 marks and forget about these 10 marks. Also, I must tell that your interview might went for only 15 to 20 minutes, but how can within 15 to 20 minutes a particular organization can judge you that you would be a great candidate for them or not? Your past academics say something about you, no? At least something about that. This is a research organization, so they want that they will have the students who want to study and who are good in studies. The person who is good in studies, then mostly those person only want to come in the research field. The person who are not good in study, mostly, I'm not saying that is not case, but mostly they don't have that much great academics. So don't spread hatred about ISRO or any other organization. Just focus on 190 marks and forget about the 10 marks. So now let's see what are the overall marks of the finally selected candidates. This is interview plus written test marks. 50% weightage has been given to the interview, 50% weightage has been given to the written test. So the overall final marks which we get now, let's see what is that marks. So let's move on. So final score for computer science and engineering department, AIR-1 has got 79.99 marks. This is me. So, and the last student which has got selected in computer science and engineering department has got 66.17 marks. The final score for mechanical engineering, AIR-1 has got 83.95 marks, and last student who has got admitted in mechanical engineering department has got 67.2 marks. For electronics and communication engineering, AIR-1 has got 76.08 marks, and the last student has got selected in electronics and communication has got 60.38 marks. So these were the marks for the selected candidates who have already got selected in 2023 ISRO ICRB examination. So now you might be wondering what is my interview marks. So let's move on to that topic. So my interview marks are 89.38 marks. So now we have came to the end of this video. I would like to thank my father, mother, brother, all my friends, teachers, and all my relatives who have always guided me, and God who have always guided me throughout this journey and blessed with their blessings. Without them, I would never be able to achieve my dream of becoming a rocket scientist at Indian Space Research Organization. If you share the same dream and wanted to become a rocket scientist at Indian Space Research Organization and have any query, you can either ask me in the comment section or contact me through Instagram. You can find my Instagram handle in the description. Also, it would be great. I have made this video by combining various information through various RTIs and tried to make this video as much comprehensive as possible. And it is quite lengthy, but it is very comprehensive video. So if you like this video, it would be great if you can drop a like to this video and also subscribe to my channel if possible, so that you can stay tuned for the next video, which is the strategy video for written test. I will make that video also as comprehensive as this video only. So very much all the best to you for your future endeavors. My center is SAC Ahmedabad, so if you get selected as rocket scientist next time, so we will surely throw a party at SAC Ahmedabad. You can always visit to SAC Ahmedabad and just inform me once, and we will surely throw a party at SAC Ahmedabad. And all the best. You will surely become a rocket scientist at Indian Space Research Organization. Just give your full heart and soul for getting this job, and you will surely achieve your childhood dream. Thanks for watching and listening to me. Hope you see you next time soon.